Hey everybody, it's your girl Bunny. To all of my returning subscribers, hey, how you doing? And for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. Kick your feet up, subscribe to this family-friendly channel, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you don't miss any posts. Also follow me on Instagram at the same profile name so you don't miss the sneak peeks of what's coming up next. In this video, it's The Handmaid's Tale Season 5, Episode 4, entitled Dear Offred. I give a full episode recap with photos offset to the side, and then I give my review at the end. No need to dig around and keep all of the minute marks in the comments. It's all coming up next. June enjoys some park time with Nicole. She's present, but in a daze. A stranger admires the baby, saying she's beautiful. Her name is Nicole, right? I know who you are. You're June Osborne. I always wanted a little girl, but I have boys. You're so lucky you were in Gilead. You don't deserve her, you slut, you whore. As June gathers the baby, she lets the stranger know immediately to F off and get away from her and her baby. June and Luke speak with a counselor as June is raged with anger. She was approached by a stranger, placing her and her baby in danger. June defends herself, but the danger is surely heightened with Serena back in Canada. She has supporters all around her like she's a saint. No one knows what's next concerning her presence. It's very obvious that Serena has a boost of confidence while speaking with Mark. She's glad to hear that she will no longer have 24-hour surveillance, giving her more privacy. Mark is still worried, though, and wants her to accept asylum from Canada as an American citizen. This will keep her safe. Serena says that she's not an American citizen and she's only loyal to God. With that being said, she is now being released from the custody of the American government. She'll be restricted from Gilead, and in accordance with her lack of diplomatic status. Ezra Shaw formally introduces himself to Serena. Then Serena introduces the two gentlemen. Mr. Shaw is now Serena's transportation escort. Gilead has made all of the arrangements. Mark says, good luck with all of your future endeavors, and step carefully. She's not in Gilead. She's in a free country. Once they drive off, Mr. Shaw reports on a walkie-talkie that Mrs. Waterford is now in the custody on her way to the center. It's an information center, a home away from home. Her living quarters are upstairs. Mark has follow-up information. He, unfortunately, doesn't have much information concerning Hannah. Serena has been released, though, from ICC custody, and now she's located where Gilead owned pre-war property. Canada decided to unfreeze that asset in order to improve relations. It will technically mean it's Gilead territory, a cultural center. Serena will be in the residence and represent Gilead's lifestyles and advocate for their values. Images from the funeral got great reviews, and Gilead wants Serena visible to the world, a pregnant miracle. Luke tells Mark to leave his home, but Mark reminds everyone she has no standing in Canada, no status, no passport. She can't even drive and doesn't have money in her name. June can't believe that Mark didn't take her warning. Serena is dangerous and always gets what she wants. Mark is a disappointment to her. After Mark leaves, Luke says that he knows people in the city. People can join together and rid her of that sinner. She can't just sit and produce a Gilead there. June, although, says calmly, I'm not worried. In the middle of the night, she digs up her little secret, her gun. She drives to the center, and there are supporters protecting the premises. The magazine is full, but she can't pull back the gauge, as mud and the cold air have it locked. Instead, June stares Serena down from her window before she drives off. Unfortunately, there's nothing Mr. Shaw can do. He can only take action if she walks onto the property. There are cameras, alarms, and drivers that are watching. He will do everything he can do to keep Serena safe. When June gets back home, Luke is up waiting and worried, but he's not surprised she drove to the center. There are better ways to take care of everything, June. They can possibly vote her out. Shooting her in the head won't get Hannah back, and all they'll do is take away Nicole. For once, June, just speak and think with a clear head. Janine struggles to walk again. The exercises are too much. No matter how Aunt Lydia recites Bible verses, Janine doesn't want to hear it. Lydia doesn't seem to care that Esther is unresponsive. It shows her right by not listening, and Janine is even more disgusted. I warned you about Esther. She's just a child. You say teach God's word and do what we say, or else you'll send them to the colonies. You talk about your precious girls, but I've seen what you've done and how you treat people. I still have one good eye left, unless you want to pluck that one out too. Serena observes printouts along with critiques before accepting a secured call from Commander Lawrence. Commander Lawrence, some other consulates have extended invitations, but he or someone else from the office have declined on her behalf. Recognition efforts in South America have been stalled. Political wives have only heard bad things about Gilead. Gilead is the only country on the planet that has had an increase of live births. I believe I am uniquely positioned to remind local ambassadors of that fact, perhaps over a tea. Venezuela has shared some interests, Commander Lawrence responds. Any other concerns you may have, colors for your new nursery, or maybe information about a nocturnal stalker? Ignore her. Serena says she isn't worried. June is like a child stomping her feet. June tries to clear her head with gardening until Moria lets June know she has some mail. There's no address noted, just the name on the front, Offred. It's an invitation to the new Gilead Information Center, a clear attempt to get under June's skin. June throws dishes, ignoring cries from Nicole. June knows what's next. It's only a matter of time before Serena brings Gilead there. After June calms down, she soothes the baby, and Moria wants to talk about what makes sense, and she agrees with Luke. This is a refugee town. If things get out of hand here, they'll start to throw people in jail and families can be destroyed. They've got to play by the rules. Serena, it's not worth losing your family over. Moria wants June to know she will dance with her on Serena's grave, but first, they need the soil. Serena is busy at the center, commanding to send a gift basket to Germany. Now she has a visitor, Luke Benko. Ezra wants to handle it, but Serena feels that it won't be necessary. It will be a talk between two old acquaintances. Serena even wants another security sweep before they speak. He lets her know there are 15 building codes that will allow this place to be condemned in a couple of days. Also, his wife will probably kill her, and he won't stop her. To stop that risk, she can just give them Hannah back. Those threats don't sway Serena. She instead gets into Luke's head. Building codes won't stop me. And Agnes is with her loving parents. That's a part of God's word. And who is she to stop that? Why didn't he go back into Gilead for his own daughter or family? June was successful and even had help from Nick. Why didn't he do anything? Luke holds back tears, telling her to stay away from his family, or the next time he sees her, he will kill her himself. Lawrence learns about the Handmaid's attack. Gladly, there were no fatalities. Gilead is opening up their doors just a crack, so viewing of their handmaids must be perfect. No one can see the handmaids harmed. Lydia offers a new protocol, handmaids not living with the commanders, but the Red Center. The commanders and wives would come there just for the ceremony. And Commander Lawrence knows that won't work. Are you crazy? What are you smoking? There will be no changes. Just take better control of the girls. All of the commanders want easy access to the girls whenever they want, and she knows that. Many people have gathered in front of the center. Now there is a mixture of supporters and people who disapprove of Gilead. It's so dangerous now, Serena's security suggests not standing by the window to even take a photo. But Serena wants natural light, a few studio photos and a few by the window. June is even strapped with a weapon. A man argues with women, telling them that they need to be put in their place by a man, and he even hits Moria. June then pulls out her gun, and now the man is silent. June pops a shot in the air, showing that she's not afraid to kill him, but Luke pulls her away. As June runs to the back to avoid the crowd, so does Serena and Ezra. It's a perfect shot. June freezes, wondering if she should pull the trigger. Then June comes to her senses and walks away. Serena wants to know, where are they going now? But Ezra says God has provided refuge. Janine is released from the hospital but can hardly walk, even with crutches. Lydia confesses that she should have listened to her about Esther. She needs Janine to help talk to the girls. She wants to show more compassion. If the girls do wrong, they can shepherd the girls together. When they return to the keep, the handmaids are solid with fear, looking at the ground. When Lydia leaves, they all surround Janine and are happy that she's okay. Luke gets a call from a firefighter who lost a sister in Gilead and will shut down the center due to the codes. Good news, June. That means Serena is homeless. Now let me see the gun. He's shocked to see that June has cleaned the gun and even takes false shot, checking his aim. They both promise that next time they may not be so constrained from hurting anyone. They just have to trust each other. They then begin to make love, finally viewing one another's wounds and not ashamed of any scars. Serena and Ezra slowly walk up to the new secret location. The maid tells Serena to please wait at the front door. She's then greeted by Atlantis, Mrs. Ryan Wheeler. She bows down to her knees, praising God and reciting scripture, along with an eerie smile. June even burns the invitation from Serena, releasing emotional connection of what Serena tried to ignite. And that is the end of the episode. And now it is time for your favorite part of the video. That's right, my review. So can we just point something out, something that I just saw that was just like screaming, what? I honestly think Ezra wasn't there for Serena's benefit. He may be someone infiltrating, some sort of spy. The reason why I say that is because that moment when they were both running to the back and June clearly going to her hip or the small of her back to pull a weapon, he didn't jump in front of Serena and he didn't kind of like pull her behind him or behind the door or anything. It was kind of like, he wanted June to shoot her. It was just kind of like, are we going to let this happen? Come on, June, make it happen. I do think that he wanted Serena to be harmed because he's providing this essence of, I'm here, I'm going to protect you. But in that moment to where he needed to step up and protect her, he didn't. If you are a trained security officer or a trained protector, somebody reaching for their hip or the small of their back, like out of all things to reach for in that moment, you should know as a trained person that, okay, they're getting a weapon or getting something to harm or hurt the person that I'm protecting. The fact that he didn't hurry up and get her into the vehicle and they both have enough time to process their thoughts. I'm really thinking that Ezra is a spy. I'm really thinking that Ezra is maybe an American spy or maybe someone that is pretending, has always been a pretender of Gilead, and now he has this special assignment to protect Serena. Now, Serena, once again, is forgetting where she is. She has some sort of protection of this so-called security guard that's helping her get from place to place. But as Mark mentioned, she doesn't have any money in her name, right? She doesn't have any of that status anymore. The property where she is Gilead territory, etc. She's kind of in a no man's land of a no man's land. This person thinking they have this status, and now that status is stripped away. She does have supporters, but it's nothing like having militant backup. Now, what I see is a potential danger, right? Mark did note that this is Gilead property. So if anybody does anything to that Gilead property, it could start a little mini war within Canada, which is something that's an added danger. We're in this town of refugees, and if something were to happen to that Gilead property, it won't be good. It's already a bad thing that June and others have had this access to Fred and been able to do what they wanted to do with Fred. But if you think about it, they really didn't care because they thought Fred was a traitor anyway. So in this episode, it's very interesting for me that, for one, Ezra really didn't seem like he was too happy to help her. Two, that Serena is forgetting of her status and it hasn't worn off yet of where she is. And she needs to be, as Mark said, aren't you worried about your reputation? You're a little too chill, right? And I agree with him, as he mentioned in the last episode. Aren't you worried about what people are saying about you? Like, you should be concerned about that. This new person, this new place where she is very eerie to me. I don't know how they came in contact with this person and how they've been able to be under the radar, within Canada and under the Gilead ways. So it's like, are they under the Gilead ways in private and they just don't want anyone to know? Have they been lying about their status? Have they been lying about their beliefs? And if so, how have they been able to just be so open with it without them being a potential threat? If they've been there, okay, let's paint a little synopsis here, and Canada is aware of their beliefs. I'm pretty sure that Canada has representatives that have put a close eye on them because they have to make sure there aren't any spies within their borders as well. So it's just really exciting, right? ICC releasing the custody of the property. It seems like they're doing that on purpose. It seems like Canada's just like, yeah, they have this property that's there and we're giving them that to keep the peace. But it's like they're setting Serena up for failure. I really think that they're doing that. They really want her to be in this spot of vulnerability. They can't do anything to her per se because of laws. And she's under U.S. custody and they were holding her in a detention center. But I honestly think this is all a plan, and they are playing chess, not checkers. June, Luke, Moria, they were all upset and pissed. Like, why are you allowing her to set up shop? Why are you doing this? And Mark to be completely chill. I honestly think, like I said before, it's chess, not checkers. They are thinking way ahead of everybody else. And maybe this may be a setup to get even more information. Let me know what you think. Subscribe, hit that like button. Stay tuned for next week's episode of episode 5 and check out other recaps and reviews of Atlanta. It's the final season, the FX original series, Emmy Award winning series. Ready to Love, Miami. We have Bell Collective 2. House of Dragon, so much more. Check it out. Go to the playlist and just binge watch. In the meantime, in between time, remember to take care of yourself and each other. Have a good weekend. Until next time, I'm May.